Hey guys, it's Adam from ATP Powerlifting, and today we're going to talk about torso position in the squat and the different variations and how that's going to affect your torso angle. So the major thing that you need to understand about torso angle in the squat is that our balance point is going to be the bar over the middle of our foot. So if we keep that in mind and think about the different variations, we'll be able to tell why different variations require a different torso angle. So I see a lot of people that go through like a high bar period and then go back to low bar, and you see them trying to stay too upright. Or the same with a front squat, maybe they're so used to doing low bar that when they go into a front squat, they're not trying to stay up in an upright position enough and have a straight enough torso angle. So this is going to explain the differences between the variations and why we need to stay more upright or more bent over for different squatting variations. So like I stated earlier, to keep our balance point, we need to keep the bar over mid-foot. So I'm going to show you how that is affected between front squatting, high bar squatting, and low bar squatting. So I'm going to get into a front squat position. I'm going to pick it up, walk it out, and you're going to notice that I can keep a very upright torso position because to keep the bar over mid-foot, if I shift forward, it's going to get in front towards my toes and I'm going to become off balance. So very upright. Choked me out. So now I'm going to go to a high bar position on my back. So you'll notice when I put the bar onto my back, the weight is obviously behind me now. So to keep that same balance point over mid-foot, I'm going to just very slightly have to lean forward. So high bar position, pick it up out of the rack. You'll notice I'm slightly more bent over. Now I'm going to transition and roll the bar down onto my rear delts to show you what a low bar position looks like. So again, the bar is rolling back. So for me to keep my balance point, I have to pitch forward just a little bit more, changing my torso angle. So big breath. You'll also notice with all of these that once I get into that torso position, you should maintain it throughout the entirety of the lift. So you should stay very upright the whole time on a front squat. You should stay, I'm winded. You should stay more bent over and bent over the whole time on a low bar squat. How much you are bent over is going to vary from person to person because we all have different limb lengths, leg lengths, and torso lengths. If someone else has a longer femur than me, and a slightly shorter torso, let's say, they're going to be slightly more bent over to keep that center of gravity. So when you see someone squatting a low bar in a super upright position, yeah, it looks really pretty, but that doesn't mean that's going to be the best position for you. So what I recommend you do is you take a video like this from the side, definitely put some weight on the bar when you're judging this. Sorry about that, I had to let the dog out. He was scratching at the door and distracted me. So what I was touching on is make sure that you have some load on the bar before you start assessing what your bar path looks like. So for those of you that have taken the bar before and you're like, the bar always feels awkward. It just feels like when I take it, like I can't squat like I normally squat, and this is true. So when there's a significant amount of weight on the bar, let's say, I don't know, maybe half your body weight, that's enough that the bar is acting as the balance point, right? To stay over mid-foot. There's a certain point in which it starts acting as the balance point because we have weight in our hips and our body and stuff like that. If you've ever done an air squat, right, you'll notice you can't quite keep the same position as you can when the bar is on your back because the balance point's different. So make sure you have some weight on the bar when you are assessing yourself from the side because it will affect what your bar path looks like. So the big takeaway I hope you get from this video is that your torso position / angle isn't going to stay the same for every single squat variation you do. When you do a front squat, you're going to be more upright. When you do a low bar squat, you're gonna be a little bit more bent over. If you do a low bar squat, or if you do a very extremely low bar squat where it's almost not even on your rear delt anymore, you're gonna be very bent over. But it is going to change from person to person how bent over or how upright you can stay based on your leverages. So knowing that when you go into a front squat, your focus is probably to stay more upright than normal, or if you're transitioning from, say, a front squat training block where it was like a big accessory to the main lift, back into, say, a low bar squat, that be aware that your torso position, you're no longer trying to force very upright, even though that felt good on a front squat. Where we're putting the bar has changed, so our torso angle is going to change as well. I hope that helped you out. If it did, please leave me a like, comment, subscribe. That's all from me. Peace.
I'm unstoppable, do the impossible. I'm irresponsible, yet I'm phenomenal. I got an arsenal.